You're listening to Sideshow Network.
Hey, hi, how are you? I'm Jamie Flam, and I'm the artistic director of the Hollywood Improv. Basically, that means I'm the one responsible for booking comedians, producing shows, and making sure every night at the club is magical. You might even call me the gatekeeper. Okay, so not really, but maybe, I don't know. Outside of my job at the Improv, I also perform and write comedy, which means I sit in front of many gatekeepers myself. It's an interesting dynamic, but it's helped me learn a lot as well. Now I host a podcast about it. Each week, I talk with bookers, producers, decision makers, performers, and more.
Hey, this is Cole Stratton.
This is Janet Varney.
This is Troy Conrad.
This is Todd Glass, and you're listening to Gatekeeper.
It's an inside look at the art of saying yes and no. Also, there are sound effects. Be sure to subscribe to Gatekeeper on iTunes, Stitcher, or wherever you listen to podcasts. And you can find more info at sideshownetwork.tv.
Hello, and welcome to another episode of Worst Collection Ever here on the Sideshow Network. This is the show where we tell you about the worst comic book collection in existence, and it just happens to belong to us. I'm Jen.
I'm Shawn.
Again.
Hi.
Hi. Hi.
Hello.
Hello. You all right?
Yeah, I'm all right.
Okay. Just checking in.
It's been a long day.
It really has been.
Guys, we bought a car.
Yeah. What have we done?
Oh, now you make me feel bad.
No, don't feel bad. It's just one of those things. It's like, God, it's such a huge purchase, but it's also one of those things that we had to do.
Because we live in L.A. and we've been driving around one car.
For 6 years.
For 6 years.
We've been sharing a car for 6 years, and now it's gotten to the point where we can't do it anymore.
Yeah.
It's just... Yeah.
So things have changed. So we bought a Fiat.
Yeah, I just feel bad, like, spending money, I guess. That's not on shitty comic books.
I know.
I can justify buying, like, you know, we went to that sale and it was like 33 cents a comic, and I'm like, all right. Like, I could buy all sorts of comics here, but then, like...
I can buy all sorts of useless crap, but stuff I actually need, I don't want to buy.
Right, like, you're talking about spending, like, money.
Such a child.
Yeah. I want to buy useless shit. I don't want to buy, like, real things. Like, adult things. I don't want an adult.
No.
I want to buy kid shit. I want to buy toys and DVDs and tickets
but I don't want
to horror
kids.
Movies. No, but I don't want kids either.
I don't want kids, but I want to buy my stupid shit.
How do we do that? How do we just maintain our childlike
I think a lot of people do that.
exuberance and just not have children?
I think there's a lot of people that do that, and they do that really well.
Yeah.
That's how they do it, yeah.
Yeah, it's good because I don't really want to share our comic book collection.
No.
Like,
No.
we'd have to do that.
No, we're sharing it now.
Yeah,
through
we should.
the power of podcasting.
I know, I just don't, feel like, but this is my comic book collection.
Well, I mean, if we had a kid or something, it's like, we'll just read it. But I want them to actually read it. I wouldn't just want to be like, oh, these suck, and then, like, or they just throw it away.
It'd be like that Patton Oswalt bit where his kid's like a jock making fun of his friends. That'd be our kid.
Yeah, he would just be ashamed of us.
I would just hope that our child, like, if we were ever to have one,
what,
just gets all the athletic talent that I never had.
Yeah, no, it's not happening.
Yeah, no, because I'm just like, I'm awful.
He's just gonna have an affinity for Jersey Mikes.
Yeah, I mean, like, I can barely walk without, like, falling or tripping over something.
Yeah.
Like, I want my kid to be like a gazelle. Very
why don't we just adopt a gazelle?
Yeah, maybe we should just adopt a gazelle. Are they up for adoption? Can we do a sponsor a gazelle program where they, like, send us pictures of one gazelle?
You know, it's a good question. I mean, they die pretty easily in the wild.
Oh, they get eaten by lions and stuff, but, like,
how can I protect my gazelle in the wild? Do I have to go to Africa and start hunting? Start fighting lions?
Well, how do we adopt an athletic animal, like a horse? Like, can we sponsor a horse? Like, they run and stuff. Or should we just, like, say fuck it?
Well, that's probably like a lot of money because if we're thinking about spending, we were talking about spending money on stupid shit.
Well, and that's so.
And we're just like, look, we want to sponsor a horse because we don't want kids, and we want something that's living and athletic, and that does not want our comic book collection.
Something that is both living
they'll be
and
like,
athletic. And it's definitely not our cats. They're not athletic.
No, our cats are useless.
Oh, absolutely. They're cats.
Especially the fat one.
Yeah, well.
We have two cats. One's Tully and one's a Leela.
Yep.
Leela, is not, she's not very into, she's cute. She's got a personality and stuff like that. She's tiny though.
Tiny little girl.
And she's not, she's just a cat. But Tully is a dog, and he's a weirdo.
He's technically a cat, but
he's technically
he thinks
a cat.
He's a dog.
He thinks he's a dog. He acts like a big loaf ham.
He acts like a 2-year-old, actually.
Yeah.
He hisses when he doesn't get his way.
And he's got a lot. He's got a very unique personality, and it's really disappointing because on Instagram there's this cat called Samson, which goes under his account is Castradamus. Catstradamus, and he
looks just like Tully.
It looks exactly like Tully.
Except
if you want to
he's
know
bigger.
you can see plenty of pictures on my Instagram or Jen's Instagram with Tully on it, but he looks just like this Castradamus. I call him Castradamus. I know his name ain't Castradamus, but he looks just like Tully.
Yeah,
and he's just posing, and he's very
he gets
well
to go on
behaved.
TV. He's tolerant.
Okay, here's the catch though. He's what, 30 pounds?
Yeah, he's
28 pounds.
He's a lot bigger than Tully.
He's a lot bigger than Tully, and Tully is gigantic.
Tully's a big guy, but the thing is like this is why we don't have to have children, because we know what it's like to be disappointed.
Yeah.
In our offspring.
Yeah.
Because Tully would be the perfect TV cat, but he's an asshole, therefore he can't get any work.
Well, I don't know if so much. Look, I'll be honest. I don't see much in Castradamus outside of just being large.
Well, he's also very cute, and
he's very cute.
Tolerant. People pick him up all the time.
He's very tolerant, but I don't think
like,
he would be a good
whatever.
TV cat. Maybe he wouldn't do anything. He wouldn't be trainable.
I don't know. See, Tully's not trainable either.
Well, Tully could have been trainable if we trained him from the very beginning to be a TV cat.
Oh, I didn't realize he...
Well, we didn't realize, though.
Yeah.
We didn't realize
he could be making money.
Make us money?
Yeah. Like, my career could be, like, managing him or whatever. I could have an internet famous cat.
You could.
But no.
We could have gotten in on that because we had a flip cam and everything. That was a time when the internet was waiting for cats.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Flip cam.
No, and he won't even look at the goddamn camera. I'm not even kidding. He won't look at the camera. He doesn't want to be brushed. He's just an asshole. But I love him.
I love him.
I love him so much. But he's an asshole. He really is an asshole. But anyway, comic books.
Yeah, let's talk about our comic books that we don't want to give to our kids, our fictional children.
Our fictional children. The ones we
So we've got a few this week. And, this is... So The Purge continues.
The Purge is like never ending at this point.
The Purge is never ending. I'm currently going through and trying to sort all of our DC books and figure out what the hell's going on. That's just DC books.
Oh, I know.
I haven't gotten to the Marvel yet.
Well, that's because I buy a lot of DC.
Yeah, you got a lot.
But actually, the Marvel one we're going to read, I bought.
You did?
I did buy this.
It's all damaged in the back here.
Well, that's probably why I bought it.
It's like somebody bit it. Went, okay. Well, we're doing... what do we start? Are we starting with this one?
Sure.
Okay. So we're starting with Captain Marvel. The new Captain Marvel.
New.
But it's not really the new Captain Marvel. It's just Captain Marvel. It's the Kree Marvel. Captain Marvel. From the 70s and 80s. Well, 70s. He died in the 80s.
Yeah. Dead.
Very sad.
Yeah.
But yeah, Captain Marvel number... Captain Marvel number 60 from January 1978.
Oh, man.
Marvel's space-born superhero. Like there wasn't any others.
Right. Only one.
It was just him. But he was pretty popular.
Sure.
And on the cover we got it says this startling issue, Moon Traps on Titan, which basically it's a continuation from an earlier issue that the issue before this that I read, where I forgot exactly what the hell's. Basically, yeah, we'll talk about it. But on the cover we got Captain Marvel and Drax being attacked by snakes, and then it's split like diagonally, and then underneath on the bottom half it says "Close Encounters in Kentucky," and apparently there's
Yeah.
a spaceship and the police car being jostled. It's
Yeah.
very intense.
Yes.
So we start off with so basically Marvel and Drax are on Titan, which is where the Eternals,
I don't
the
know.
Titan.
Sure.
I always forget if they're because they're not Eternals. Eternals are somebody else. They're like Earthbound superheroes. Why can't I think of what the hell they're? Whatever. But they're on Titan, and I forgot what the hell they were doing on Titan. But it's him and Drax,
And they're talking to some guy.
they're talking to this monster. This monster guy. This because they're underneath Titan's moon.
Yeah.
And they have found their way to the Chamber of Gaia, the Gaia,
Guy, yeah.
god of soil. And there's some I don't know if this is the guy. I don't know if this is Gaia.
I don't know. It's weird that they took the name Gaia. It's all whatever. But
Because
anyway,
that's what means something else.
it's usually like
Earth.
Earth. So like they talk to this guy, and I don't know. He's like a big monster. And apparently Captain Marvel
He's a
just
monster with a
defeated.
hat.
Yeah, he's wearing like a Loki helmet, and he's like, "You've defeated me."
Aha.
He says, "Pre-programmed his death before blah blah blah." And then apparently they were fighting like a computer named Isaac, and
Well, okay, so here's the
Isaac's
deal.
been defeated.
Well, here's the deal. Isaac on Titan, which is one of the moons of Saturn.
Yes.
The race. I wish I could remember. I want to call them Eternals, but they're
Sure.
not. Whatever. Eternals.
Just call them Eternals. They're fine.
They run. They have like a computer network, like an actual supercomputer called Isaac.
Yeah.
That has been built into like the surface of Titan.
Yeah.
So like if you land on it, you don't see anything on Titan. You just see like the moon. You know, you're just on the surface or whatever, and then underneath it there's underneath the subcutaneous layer there's the supercomputer, and then as you go further down, you actually get to go into where the Star Fox and Marvel and fucking what's his face Mentor,
Yeah.
where they all live.
Oh yeah, and it's a hollow moon, by the way.
The Hollow Moon.
Yeah. Oh, so Isaac. No, I'm sorry. He didn't die. He's taken on a life of his own, and now he's Captain Marvel's real foe.
Yeah.
And he's got to defeat him.
It's Skynet.
Pretty much. And so him and Drax are like, all right, well, we're going to go do this shit. And
Because Gaia, the monster man,
yeah.
is like, he's like, hey, you want to go fight this, you want to go fight Isaac? I can't do it.
Yeah.
I haven't been able to do it. I've been sitting in this chair the whole time. What am I going to do?
Yeah.
And you can't do it, so fuck off.
Right.
And they're like, whatever, screw you. I'm going to go.
Right. We're going to go do this because apparently Isaac's goal is obviously the conquest of Earth. Like, there's not a bunch of other planets out there.
Yeah, he just wants
There's
Earth.
no other fucking planets besides Earth, apparently.
Well, Earth's pretty sweet.
I guess.
That's where Drax is from. Well, but you missed it here.
Drax isn't from Earth.
Yeah, he was.
Drax?
His conscious is from Earth.
I don't know. Okay.
Art Douglas was a jazz musician. What are you doing?
I'm just holding it.
Oh. Jazz musician who, along with his daughter Heather, who is now Moondragon, they were driving back home. He was driving from Vegas with his family, his daughter and his wife, and this is the origin of Drax. And Drax was driving. Arthur Douglas was driving, and they saw Thanos' ship fly over. And Thanos was like, I think that car saw me, so I'm going to go kill them.
But hasn't that been retconned now? He's no longer. He doesn't have a human consciousness anymore. He's just. He's an alien.
It's been retconned. Yeah,
who lost his family still to Thanos, but he was an alien. He was never.
Yeah, no, but this is different.
This particular
this
guy.
particular.
Okay.
So this version, the original version of Drax.
Okay.
Drax is very.
He's weird.
Yeah, because this is back when he was just a Thanos killing machine.
Yeah.
And then like he became. Yeah, it's a long thing. But
It's a story.
But he basically, this Thanos is like, hey, I think that car saw me. Zap, murder.
Right.
But don't move it.
Oh, sorry.
We're not done yet.
Oh, sorry. I just really want to talk about rednecks.
We'll get to it.
Okay.
Zap, murder. Moondragon survives, and she is rescued and taken up to Titan to train into becoming Moondragon, and she shaves her head and stuff. And she's like a little girl at this time, but but then they take. So then what happens is Art Douglas is dead. His his spirit is going up into space, and Kronos, who's like the god that they all respect on Titan, sees this and is like, Thanos is a dick. I'm gonna grab this dude and put him into a body that I'm making out of the dirt, and I'm gonna make it purple and green, and it's gonna be Drax. And I'm gonna throw this dude's spirit into it, but he's also gonna want to kill Thanos constantly. And so that's what we have here.
Okay.
And so then what happens is this Gaia dude gets so they're about to leave, and he's like, so they turn. It's funny because he turns his back on but Drax and Marvel turned his back on him, and they're like, all right, we'll see you. And he's like, well, I'm gonna kill you anyways,
right?
You idiots. And then they kind of sense it and just blow up his
cavern area.
His cavern and just crush him to death.
Yeah, I don't know if he's dead, but he's definitely under a cavern,
Yeah,
under a bunch of rocks.
He's not in good shape.
And they're like, okay, well, let's go stop Isaac from...
Look at this panel. This is kind of weird, isn't it?
It's very strange the way they drew it. It's like, it goes across the entire page, but it's in the middle. And
it's just a strip.
It's a strip, and it's like you're viewing them from above. So you see them walking from one end of the hallway, and then they're underneath you, and then they're at the other end. It's just it's like a fisheye lens, kind of. It's really weird.
It's actually very different. I kind of appreciate that.
Yeah. Yeah, it is a very different panel than anything I've seen. So they run off, and as they're running off to go find Isaac, we're back on Earth in Kentucky.
Kentucky of all places.
Kentucky, where apparently there's like there's like a shooting star, basically. Or it looks like a shooting star, but it's not. And people start seeing it. And this includes people who are, making out. But for some reason, even though they've got a van, they're making out on the ground. Like, why aren't you in the back of the van? Like, your van even has curtains on the windows and everything.
Oh, I know. Yeah, you could be doing that in the van. Is there? What else is in this van? It
looks like a barrel. I don't know what's going on in that.
Well, maybe
van.
they didn't have room for the barrels.
What's in the barrel?
Moonshine. It's Kentucky.
I know rednecks. They don't.
So what this guy was
there's
doing?
no respect for them in this book. They look like yokels and idiots.
This guy was taking his girl to go deliver a bunch of moonshine and some squat barrels.
Do you, since we can't see it, do you think he has wolves painted on the side of this van?
Totes wolves.
Yeah, he's got to have
either that.
It's got to look like a Led Zeppelin cover.
Either that, or it's Frank Frazetta. It's like a Molly Hatchet album cover.
Yeah, there's gonna be something.
Yeah, so so they're probably going to deliver moonshine, and they're like, "Hey, man," he's like, "Hey, Brenda,
yes,
or whatever. I got a boner. Let's go fuck on the ground."
She's like, "Oh, that sounds fun."
But he's like,
literally
what about? Could we go and like do in the back? But the moonshine's gonna fall on us.
But we're gonna open.
And I'm thinking about bringing the thunder.
But we're gonna open the back so I can look at the moonshine.
Yeah, you want to? Yeah.
And then you're gonna lay in the middle of the road.
Yeah.
And we're gonna have sex here while I look at the moonshine, because that's
we're
really
gonna have
the
sex
only thing
on
that gets
this
me
dirt
off.
road with broken bottles and sharp
that's gonna
rocks.
be real comfortable. So
there's not even a rug.
No, there's not. There's not a blanket. There's nothing. They're literally in the middle of a road.
Yeah. It's hot.
Yeah, and she's like, and he's like, "Hey, look at that!" And she's probably like, "Thank God, I don't have to lay on this stupid road anymore."
No, they just finished.
He
finished.
So farmers see it, amateur astronomers see it, and then they realize that it's not a shooting star; it's actually a UFO.
Oh shit!
So a call goes out to dispatch, and cops are coming.
Chaos is happening.
Chaos
in
is
Kentucky.
happening, and everybody here just gets portrayed as like a dumb yokel.
Well, I mean, look, down low so much. I didn't feel they were so much dumb as they were just
Yokels?
no. I mean, they're backwoods. They live in the country.
Mm-hmm. That
You know,
doesn't mean they're stupid.
I know they're not stupid, but I mean, they're seeing a spaceship. They don't.
Well.
They probably don't have enough interaction because all the shit that happens in these superhero books happens like in New York.
That's
or
true.
Los Angeles or
That's true.
Metropolis
Yeah,
or wherever.
you're right.
Forget it. It's like these guys
Well,
never see it.
and every once in a while, do you think this is the same place that Hulk went to when he ate all that corn?
Yeah,
Yeah.
100%. 100%. Yeah, because
So-
they worry about the corn here.
They do.
Because what happens is like this ship, like the thrusters or something, like sets fire to like all this corn.
So
I think.
here's a question. I don't know
Oh.
anything about Kentucky. Do you grow a lot of corn in Kentucky?
You
Is
probably
that
could.
a crop?
You probably could.
Isn't
yeah.
that more of an Iowa thing?
I
don't
mean,
know.
it's definitely-
I'm not
I-
a farmer.
I mean, you know,
Jen Stansfield, not a farmer.
Jen Stansfield, not a farmer. Yeah,
Even
but-
though I wouldn't mind living like in the middle of nowhere so I could have bees.
yeah. Well, I mean, hopefully, it's too bad they didn't ruin a bee farm in Kentucky.
I'd be really upset.
It's really upset. Yeah.
I'd be upset about the bees. Anyway, so the cops go chasing after this UFO, which is like flying.
What is he doing?
Our cat's being an asshole. I don't.
See, we're not filming him right now. He's not being.
If you turn your camera on, he'll run away.
He's biting a bunch of whatever boxes on there. Is that those
I think those are the light bulbs.
the light bulbs we got, the dense light bulbs
Yeah,
at the
yes.
the county of Los Angeles? Here, I'll commentate, guys. So, yeah, so Jen's walking over to yell at this cat, and this cat is going to. Yeah. Oh, yeah, he's had enough.
Okay.
So they're burning up the cornfields.
Yeah, they're burning up the cornfields. And so then we go back to Drax and Captain Marvel, like, flying around the Hollow Moon. And then they come out of a cavern. And they're, like, kind of outside.
Yeah.
And they're like, this isn't where we came in, but this is going to have to do. But I hear music. And things are weird. Like, you know, the world is now filled with traps because that's what Gaia.
Well, because that's what the guy was like. He's like, hey, you know, there's like a shit ton of traps, and you're just gonna die, so don't even bother.
Yeah.
I'll just kill you. And they dropped a bunch of rocks on him.
Right.
So
So now they have to worry about these traps,
yeah.
and so they're walking through this like forest thing, and something happens to Captain Marvel where he feels more cosmically aware.
Well, because he is. Captain Marvel has cosmic awareness, so
right, but it's like he feels more of it.
yeah, and he's which doesn't make sense for later in this book because he
Right.
kind of like because he knows like, oh shit, there's traps going on or just something weird going on here.
Yeah.
In this part, because that's when you could tell he gets cosmic aware because his face turns into space.
So is it kind of like Spidey sense?
Yeah, it's like Spidey sense, but for like the entire universe.
Oh, well, that's not very helpful because that doesn't help pinpoint where the danger is. If it's all the things, because then Drax almost gets knocked in like.
Which,
over
to be
by
honest, I don't really know if that would have
columns?
killed.
I don't even know.
I don't know if that would have killed him.
Not Drax, probably not.
But
And they're
nonetheless,
like, oh, some intelligent being set up a trap for us.
it couldn't have been an animal.
Yeah. And then all the ads. So as they're walking along, there's another trap.
Here's all these booby traps.
There's a bunch of booby traps, and eventually,
Well, that's the thing. Cause so Captain Marvel, eventually, he's like, I smell wine.
yeah,
It's like, maybe it's a meeting of the housewives of Real Housewives or something.
yeah, but it's not. It's Dionysus, or he looks like Pan, but he's got the
he
goat
looks like Pip
legs.
the Troll.
Yeah.
I thought it was Pip the Troll. I was like, what's Pip the Troll doing in here? It's like,
Yeah.
yeah, all right, Pip.
And he is
I
just.
love Pip.
He's got a whole table full of like grapes and food, and he is just chugging wine.
He's like, my only master is the grape.
He's like-
Which he says really creepily. It's like,
Yeah.
I only have a master of the grape. I'm like,
Yeah, he's like,
all right.
hey, come.
Need to get you to a
come
12-step program, buddy.
He's like, hey, man, why don't you come hang out with me?
Hey,
You
come on
know,
and party
like-
with me. Which Captain Marvel should be like, I'm cosmically aware that you're a dick.
Yeah.
And I know you're trying
Yeah,
to
and
fuck
he
with
doesn't.
me.
This is what doesn't make sense. So he's like, taste the sweet wine, and he's like, no, I know that there's traps.
Why would you drink a troll wine?
Great question. So he's like,
Unless if you're Pip the Troll, because that's how he became a troll.
right. And he's like, well, I only live for myself, so don't worry about it. And have some of this wine, you'll feel better.
I would just be like, I don't want to party. I'm trying to do something, and Captain Marvel's just like, well, you know what? I think we'll...
Well, at first they're like, no, we don't want any. How about you drink some first? And Dionysus is like, absolutely, I'll drink some. And he's like, see, I'm still alive, so you don't have to worry about it. And Drax is like, well, I guess, I'm thirsty. I might as well put back this nice red. So he does, and Captain Marvel does, and all of a sudden, of course, they both pass out. Or Drax hits the floor first. And Captain Marvel's like, no, you drugged us, and I'm going to smash the wine.
And he's like, don't smash the wine. I have to smash, and I got to drink
says,
it.
don't break the jug at least until it's empty. And then he hits Captain Marvel upside the head with it.
Oh,
and then they both pass
funny.
out. And then this one guy, a bunch of these little trolls show up. And they're like, okay, cool. Now it's time to kill them.
Yeah.
And Dionysus is like,
kill. I know they're all ready to murder.
yeah, they're like, let's kill him because that's what Isaac would want. And Dionysus is like, nah, man, I don't kill. I just drink. I'll knock him out for you, but I'm definitely not going to kill him.
So why don't these other trolls just do it?
I don't know. I don't know why they want him to do it. So he's like, I've got better things to do. And they're like, Isaac isn't going to be happy with you. And he's like, Isaac doesn't like the wine. I got to keep drinking. Haha. And he just continues partying. Don't.
Oh, wait, are we commenting on our cat here?
Don't do whatever it is you're thinking about doing.
Oh, he looks like a piece. He's like a
He's
shit.
upset. He's mad that I called him an asshole.
Are you upset that this is going on over the internet?
He's like, don't call me an asshole. I'll just be an asshole. I don't understand the logic. But yeah, those mudslides really are delicious. I would like one, actually. Maybe I'll go to TGI Fridays one of these days and have one.
There's one right across the street from us.
I know.
It used to be a Magic Johnson Fridays.
Well, it's the same exact thing.
I know, but
I
I can't tell you how disappointed I was to go to a Magic Johnson's Fridays and not have it be basketball themed.
I
and
know.
not have anything was being basketball themed. It was just a TGI Fridays, but it just said Magic Johnson Fridays.
I know. You were really hoping to get a salad in half a basketball, and it didn't happen.
That'd be really expensive to do, but Magic Johnson can afford it.
No, I mean, you could just have a bowl that looks like a basketball. So we cut to wherever Isaac lives, which is apparently a room somewhere.
He's a computer. He lives in a computer room.
And he is like a robot man face on a screen.
Yeah.
And so
Skynet.
he's just like, he says, it seems I have received an aborted signal from Stellarax's expedition craft.
Yeah, that was from last issue.
So something.
Stellarax.
Is that how you pronounce it?
Stellarax. Stellarax.
Stellarax.
Stellarax.
And he's like, he needs help, and there's this one woman,
Elysius.
Elysius. She's
Alicia Fox.
Yeah, she does his bidding, but she's kind of busy, trying to get with Eros.
Well, she's into Eros, and she's also into Captain Marvel. And in the end, she ends up becoming Captain Marvel's wife.
Yeah, that makes sense.
She's there when he dies. It's really sad.
She's wearing furry boots.
She bears him a child.
She's wearing the boots with the fur.
Yeah.
She's like, I don't understand why Eros can't hang out with me. Why can't I just have sex with him? Why do you need me to do whatever you need me to do, Isaac? And Isaac's like, shut up and go to the room where we create bodies.
We
out
create
of shit.
bodies.
And she's like,
that reminds me of
fine.
That reminds me of when I just finished reading Secret Wars 2.
Uh-huh.
And there's this whole deal where the Beyonders it's a theoretical chore to read that book.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because it's just a lot of do I want to become human? Humans should die. I love humans. I hate humans. I want to be human. He becomes human. He gestates. He just constantly gestates into a new body.
Yeah.
And just gets spit out and stuff. And it's weird. It's really weird. And also, too, I have to say, I am relieved to be reading a comic book that does not have every sentence, literally every sentence end in every sentence end in an exclamation point.
Oh, I know.
Exclamation
that's so
point.
Annoying.
Because there's actually sentences that I was like, wait a minute, not all these sentences end in exclamation points in this Captain Marvel book, where if you read Secret Wars, literally every sentence ends in an exclamation point.
Oh, it's so frustrating.
Jim Shooter needs to calm the fuck down.
Obviously.
I don't care if you look like Robert Davey or something. I don't know.
So, so she goes off to find the body chamber. I don't really know. So we cut back to
The bodies at the chamber.
Kentucky, where the aliens have now left
Kentucky,
the ship, and there's like a big eyeball, like looking in this
Little monsters.
Yeah, kind of. And he's like, he's exactly the guy from Monsters Inc. What's that guy's name with the big? He's nothing but a big eyeball.
Mike Wazowski.
It's Mike Wazowski.
Mike Wazowski, guys.
So Mike Wazowski's here.
Oh man, Disney was sneaking in there.
He was.
It's Monsters Inc.
And he's looking in the window, just this big eye,
They ripped
and
us off.
and this guy's like, shoot him.
Yeah, some Kentucky.
Fucking shoot him. I mean, granted, if I just saw a giant monster was nothing but a fucking eye looking at our window, I can't say that my reaction would not be to either scream or shoot him if we had
Or jab the giant eye with a stick.
Yeah, or hit it with a bat or something. Because I mean, it's a big fucking eye. That's really creepy. So
Fuck you, alien eye.
Yeah, sorry. I realize you
Eat
might
stick.
You might come in peace.
Eat
jab.
rake. Eat Louisville Slugger because we're in Kentucky.
And so he shoots through the window. The alien jumps away. They run outside, and then a bunch of
I like that this guy's like, I got it. Oh man, I'm like, you totally didn't see it jump.
And not only that, but like, would you still go outside? I don't know. I think I might just stay in the house and wait.
No, I probably will go outside and make sure I shot it. If you
Yeah,
thought,
but
if
I'm not going out there
look, honestly, to
immediately.
his credit, if he thinks he shot it, he's gonna go out there and he's gonna finish it off.
I assume if you shoot something directly in the eye, it will probably die.
I don't know.
With a double barrel shotgun?
Well, right, but I'm saying, but how do you know that it's not like impenetrable eye?
I don't know. It's
Like
really...
you could shoot Superman in the eye.
Well, that's true.
You could just show a shotgun to his eye,
Yeah,
like
why
they did in
hasn't
that
anybody
movie.
ever-
Superman Returns. You got a bullet to the eye, and it would.
That's right, it did. So they run outside, and there's a bunch of other aliens waiting for an ambush because this whole thing was just like a setup.
It was a plan. For some reason, the specific plan was find a backwoods house in Kentucky and harass
Get the farmer to come out and
have Mike Wazowski get shot in the eye.
yeah, it was,
and then have him
capture
run
a
out.
farmer,
Capture a farmer.
and then Stellarex is going to come up and say, "I am here to conquer Earth. Spread the word."
Spread the word.
First I'll conquer Earth and then Titan because they're like next to each other or something. I don't.
They're not next to each
No,
other.
they're not. That's why it doesn't make any sense when he literally says, first Earth, then Titan itself."
You're gonna
And I'm
take
like,
that's a long trip.
that's really long. Like, why?
It's like I'm going to look.
doesn't
That'd be
make
like
any
me being like.
sense.
That'd be like me being like, look, I'm gonna go to the Improv, then I'm gonna go to Temecula,
Yeah. That would be
then I'm
like,
gonna go to the Angel Stadium.
that would be like if Hitler was like, all right, the first thing we're going to do, we're going to conquer South Africa, and then we're coming back for Poland. Like, it doesn't make any fucking sense.
We're gonna walk through the entirety of Africa.
Down to South Africa,
We're
conquer
not gonna
that-
touch anything else. We're just gonna
No,
walk through it.
Just walk through it. Then come back for Poland.
I'm gonna
Because-
adopt a gazelle.
Because Poland's still going down.
Go
Sorry,
to adopt
Poland.
a gazelle and protect this gazelle on the way back up to Poland.
It doesn't make any fucking sense why you would do it in this order, but okay. So
That was the original plan.
I think it was.
That was how World War II was supposed to go.
It was.
Don't let history tell you anything different.
No. Just South Africa and Poland, guys.
South Africa. It was just supposed to be those two.
That's it.
You know.
So, and then he's like, I'm gonna conquer Earth and Titan, and then he melts their pickup truck
Oh.
for some reason.
Boo.
And then he
Ford,
says,
not
spread
that
the
tough.
word.
Yeah. Well. Okay.
And he
so
leaves.
What is this? This.
This plan is terrible.
It's like a shitty version of Red Dawn.
I
Because
guess.
Red Dawn, they're like, oh, we're gonna have a bunch of people, a bunch like Middle America, the Cubanistas or whatever happens in there, the Russians,
Yeah.
the communist fighters or whatever. I've never seen Red Dawn.
This is like Red Dawn. I've never seen the movie.
I know the basic premise of Red Dawn, but I can't remember if it's. I think it's the Russians.
I'm assuming it must be if it's called Red Dawn.
It's called Red Dawn. and
Because
it's like,
communists.
we're right, but it could have been the Cubans. It could have been
Communists.
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 Yeah.
So did you just say communists?
Communists.
There you
the
go.
communist fighter guys. Because I remember there being Cubans in that movie. From what I've seen on I Love the 80s.
Sean's knowledge is based off of old VH1 shows.
That's how I learned anything. For things I don't want to watch, I don't want to take the time to watch. I just learned it from the 80s. From I Love the 80s. Mm-hmm. You know, all the other shit like the GoBots movie, I could probably tell you about. There's rocks in it. I watched that.
There are rocks.
I saw that. Actually, we were talking the other day about seeing movies in the theater. I saw that one.
GoBots?
In the theater, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So that was probably when Neverending Story, GoBots, Ernest Goes to Camp.
Good job, babe.
And then Benji the Hunted.
Oh.
At the drive-in with three amigos.
Nope. My parents did not go to movies, so I didn't see a lot.
Yeah, that was pretty cool.
Yeah, you were very cool.
It does always say theaters. I mean, I can't tell you what I saw
on
in the VHS. I saw Rambo 2 in VHS when it came out back when VHSs were twice the size of our PS4.
Like, my mom would never let me watch any. Like, she really believed in the age rating.
Yeah.
So there was not going to be any, like, unless my dad snuck it. Like, he snuck Terminator 2. He's like, come on, we're going to watch Terminator 2.
Yay.
Don't tell your mother. But, like, we weren't allowed to watch.
Come with me if you want to watch Terminator 2.
Yeah, there was no fucking way that my mom would be, like, my dad was going to be like, oh, Rambo's a good idea. Like, it's just, that wasn't going to happen.
My family was, my family. Yeah,
no, my mom was very strict about it.
I was watching Friday the 13th and RoboCop and fucking, what was, oh, God, I just had one on the tip of my tongue. I saw everything. I saw movies I didn't even need to see. Like Betsy's Wedding.
Oh, no fucking clue what that is.
It stars Alan Alda and Molly Ringwald, and Molly Ringwald gets married and she wears a hat.
Yep, I've never seen that.
Fucking, I mean, I saw all those movies. I don't know why. It was just be one of those things where my dad would be like, go to the video store and be like, all right, guess we're gonna watch this, and then we just get together and we just watch it. But I didn't get a lot of shitty movies. Just watch like the stuff that it was like, oh, this looks popular, and then my dad would be like, oh, this one has the gun in it or tit in it. You know?
No, my dad was much more selective about the stuff because my dad is, if he were younger, he would be the dad taking his kids to the comic convention. My dad watched Doctor Who. He loved Star Wars. He'd be like, girls, I rented Krull. Let's watch it again. Like, he loves that fucking movie. Like, that he would come home with Labyrinth. He would come home.
I don't watch Krull.
With Legend. He would come home with Secret of the Nim. Like, all that shit. Like, that was all my dad. He was always like, let's watch these.
Did I see American Tail in the theater? Okay.
But yeah, that was like, I feel like if my dad was like a young dad now, he'd be so excited. He'd be like, you know, dressing us up like TARDISes or something. Yeah, because I think he was just a little bit too old for it, unfortunately.
I got a hot take. I think Doctor Who is boring. Thank you.
I'm not a huge fan of it either, but my dad loved that shit. Like the old one that used to like show on PBS. Oh shit!
Yeah, I've never been able to watch it.
And I was always like, I don't get this, but
it's not my thing.
So anyway, that's not what we're really talking about. So they melt a pickup truck and they fly away. I think this plan is A, shitty, and B, shittier for two reasons.
It's shitty and shittier.
Yeah. Well, because first off, it doesn't make any sense from a strategic perspective. Of
course, yes.
Of course. And second, if you want to spread the word, why did you go to the middle of fucking nowhere? Why didn't you go talk to somebody in a city?
Because maybe what happened...
Go find a fucking camera? What are you doing?
Maybe,
You're talking to one fucking guy who everybody is going to just be like, oh, it's the fucking redneck who thinks he got abducted again, and no one's going to believe this guy until the X-Files come out. And that's going to be a while.
Yeah, that's like 20 years from now.
Right? So no, it's like, this is the worst plan.
Yeah.
This is a terrible plan. This guy... is bad at logistics.
Sucks ass.
Very, very bad. So then the cops come up and they're like, what'd you see? And of course the farmer can't say anything because he's like in shock, basically. And they're like, yep, you definitely saw something. And then we cut back.
Now we're back in Titan and...
where the human room is, or the body tube.
Yeah, they're creating a body. Whose body are they creating?
I don't know. They're called the life baths.
Ooh, life bath.
I don't know exactly what they're creating. Maybe it's a body for Isaac.
Maybe. That's
and
a
so
good hypothesis. I probably should have read a synopsis here, but I think you might be right.
So she has to go check to make sure it's working, and she's like, "Yep, it's working. I don't know why he made me come over here." And she's like, "Well, all right, I'm gonna go do my shit. Go away, drone." And he's like, "Okay," and that's pretty much what happens there. And then in the morning, now all those trolls just left Drax.
Left Drax
And
into Captain Marvel.
They didn't even tie them up. They just left them sitting, like, by, like, the Parthenon.
Pretty much.
Yeah, and they were just like, "Here you go. We're going to leave you guys here. Even though we yelled at that guy for not killing you, we're not going to kill you either. We're not even going to tie you up. We're not even going to take you
Yeah, they didn't kill him.
to where you need to go. We're just going to leave you guys here and let you sleep it off."
Yeah, they didn't kill him, so they just let him sleep it off, and then they wake up and there's giant snakes.
Yeah, and they get attacked. They get attacked by giant snakes.
Snakes?
Yep. And then, which part is this?
So now we get a quick aside where something
yes,
happens
that's right.
where Rick Jones, who is cosmically linked to Captain Marvel through his negabands
Okay.
that are on his wrist,
Okay.
or a wrist or whatever. He, he's just kind of like, he senses something's wrong, and so actually, let me see. I think there's
He like runs out. He's like at a performance space.
Yeah, he's a
or
musician,
something.
and he's about to do a show, and then he's like, something. Oh no, he reads the newspaper. Apparently, he reads the newspaper and finds out about something going on in Titan, or about how apparently the rednecks were like, "Dang man, that guy said he's from Titan. He's gonna ruin the Earth." So his plan is doing its job.
Well, I'm surprised, but at the same time, like, I guess he's the only person who would believe him, because would you believe that story?
No.
No, nobody would.
Captain, but Rick knows. Rick understands.
Yeah, that's going to be the subject of like some shitty Netflix documentary where they don't do any fact checking.
Oh, yes, Netflix documentaries.
Yeah, I got kind of a bone to pick with the Netflix documentaries.
So anyway, the snakes are Captain Marvel and Drax are fighting snakes.
Yep.
And thankfully, he manages to get loose.
He zaps a snake.
And then just as he's about to, he turns around, and there's Elysius, and she's there with her.
She's got griffins.
She got Yeah, these are just griffins.
Yeah.
I was gonna say they're like bird lions, but they're griffins. That's what basically a griffin is. And
Yeah,
she's like,
that's a griffin.
and she's like, "Yeah, you're trespassing in paradise on my estate, and my pets don't like it."
Yeah.
But she's kind of into, she's into him.
She's
so
like,
I think
"What up, Captain Marvel?"
She's like, "What up? I want to bang."
Well, because she can't bang Eros, so she's like, "Well, here's this other guy. I guess I could have sex with." Cool.
Or she's into that guy, so that's
So
pretty much
that's
it.
Captain Marvel.
Yeah, that's Captain Marvel number 60 from January 1978. Would you read the next issue of this?
Probably. Do we have the next issue of this, or do we have the one before?
We had the one
it?
before it. I would probably. This is one of the books that I'm probably gonna try to collect in like trades and stuff like that, because you can get these in trades.
Yeah. No, I like it. It's weird.
I like
how weird it is.
I'm a Captain Marvel fan. I like just reading. I like reading the stuff about. I love the cosmic stuff. I mean, this is what, Jim Starlin, I think.
I think so.
Or Doug Mensch. Oh no, wait. Oh shit. Doug Mensch wrote both of our books this week. How about that?
Oh, did he?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, he did. Jill, look at that.
Doug Mensch. I thought this. I for certain. I thought this was Jim Starlin.
But there's not a lot of explanation points in there. So.
No, there are none. There's barely any.
Yeah.
And I appreciate that. Even though Jim Shooter was the editor-in-chief at this point, I'm surprised he did not say we need more explanation points. But I guess the stuff that he writes,
they're mandatory.
They're mandatory for everybody to have to be shouting.
Just fucking everybody.
But
everybody.
Yeah. But not in Captain Marvel. No, I would totally read the next one.
Yeah, I would too.
And I'm hoping to maybe get this in the trade and stuff like. I have the one where he gets cancer. It's really sad.
That sounds terrible.
He gets cancer, and then
is it because of Earth? Is it Earth cancer?
No, what happens is basically he fights this guy called Nitro, and Nitro's trying to steal like this canister of like
cancer
gas to do stuff,
Okay.
and then he stops nitro, but then he like has to like, the canister gets opened, and he has to like seal it, and he gets like a face full of cancer gas.
Oh, okay.
And so we just kind of go through like the rest of his book until just his book runs its course, whatever, and then he's around for other stuff, and then like in the first ever Marvel graphic novel is the death of Captain Marvel, where eventually he just goes, I got cancer, and then he dies.
Right.
And it's really sad. It is. I mean, it's beautifully done.
Yeah.
But it's very difficult to read, for especially for me.
Yeah.
For obvious reasons.
Yeah.
But not obvious reasons, but for stuff that I've having been through cancer myself.
Mm-hmm.
But it's beautifully done. That's the thing. It's like it's so well done.
Right.
But it's really hard to read.
Right.
But yeah, no. But Captain Marvel is fascinating to me, and I look forward to reading more.
Yeah.
All right, so we'll take a break, and we'll be back with our next book.
Hey guys, it's Adam Ray.
And Josh Wolf, and we have a new podcast on the Sideshow Network called Good Call. It's a sports show for the casual fan. We aren't talking stats, no spreadsheets or in-depth analysis, nothing like that.
Yeah, it's just fan opinions that will make you laugh and think. So if you want to listen to it, download, rate, and subscribe to the podcast on iTunes, or check us out on the SideshowNetwork.tv/Good Call, or anywhere you get your podcasts.
I'm not sure how much thinking is being done.
What?
Yeah.
Okay, we're back here on our worst collection ever here on Sideshow Network. Let's get into our DC book. It is the Spectre.
Yup.
Spectre.
Yup.
We have not done a Spectre yet. I've wanted to do a Spectre. Surprisingly, because Spectre's one of my favorites. I mean, I know he's probably been through here before.
Yeah.
But
However, there is some stuff you're going to have to explain to me for this one, because there were a lot of like, wait, what moments for me.
Okay, well, here's the thing. So this is the Spectre series. I want to say volume 2. Maybe it's volume 1. No, volume 2. I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
I want to say volume 2. Mm-hmm. So it's the one from the 80s. It's the Doug Munch.
Yeah.
I can't say his. Everything would say his name. It's the one from the 80s. And it's the Spectre number 11 from February 1988. Okay. And we are in the middle, or maybe towards the end, of the Millennium crossover. Okay. And I, for one, do not understand. I don't get Millennium. I know that it's something to do with the fucking Manhunters.
Okay. Yeah, I don't know.
The Manhunter robots, and they go crazy, and the Guardians, and
sure,
it's a bunch of bullshit. DC crossovers suck.
Oh, I don't like. I hate.
DC does crossovers.
Hate crossovers.
I mean, I hate. I'm not as crazy about crossovers in general, but for some reason, I just like how Marvel ones are done sometimes. Mm-hmm. I just like how sometimes they'll do them across. They'll do them across, annuals, or they'll do them across certain books, and it kind of fits, whatever. And I understand why you might do it, but it's just at the same time, I'm just like, stop it.
Yeah, so a lot of times, crossovers I think can be done really well, but I think I have found, now we have the worst collection ever, so I can't say we're reading good ones, but I found that it seems like all the crossovers are just like, here's a story you've been reading, and now here's this random shit shoved into it that kind of goes along with the rest of the crossover, but maybe not really. And you're back to your regularly scheduled story the next issue.
Yeah.
And I hate that. It's not organic in any way. You could tell it's just being done because they're trying to shove this crossover into places. And, because it's the Bat Family, that means everybody gets one of these books.
Nah.
Or because it's this. Everybody, gets one of these crazy books.
You get a crossover, and you get a crossover.
And it's just shoved in, and maybe, whoever's writing book X wrote it really well, but whoever's writing book Y didn't really do so much, and it kind of contradicts what's going on.
And it just drives me... Well, DC does...
I hate it.
And both Marvel and DC do this, where they'll have, a specific series dedicated to just a certain character in that crossover, and it's also their own book has the crossover in it, And it's just that makes me not want to read any of that. Just kind of like I can't read like Final Crisis or Day of Vengeance or whatever the frig it is. It means I have to go and find all these books.
Well, that's the thing. It's like, because you have to, you have to buy all the books. If you want to know the story, you have to buy all the crossovers.
I mean, granted, I could just read the Wikipedia.
Yeah, and that's really what, I mean, well, back in the day, you didn't have that choice.
Yeah, but now you don't have that, yeah.
But now, I mean, like, what was one that I was following? Like, the Gothtopia crossover that they did. I was just like, I'm not reading every Bat Family title. I'm not doing it. I'm not going to read Batwing and all that shit.
I don't read Batwing. Who wants to read Batwing?
Yeah, I'm not going to read any of it.
I'm not going to read Talon.
Right, I don't want to get Talon. Because I don't care. So just tell me what happens at the end, and let me go back to my regularly scheduled Terrible Catwoman book written by Ann Nesenti that I dropped because it was bad.
Anyways, so we're in the middle of Millennium here. On the cover, we've got, looks like, and this is actually the reason why I have this book, is because it's
got all your guys on it.
It's got all my guys on it. It's got, so it's the Spectre, and he's basically, like, in the background, like, you see his eyes, and it's kind of...
He's gigantic.
He's, like, it's like the background, and then you got Phantom Stranger floating in the background. You got Enchantress. Mm-hmm. You got Dr. Fate right smack dab in the middle. You got Madame Xanadu. Gentleman Ghost for some reason.
Yeah, he's here.
Is he here just because he's a ghost?
I think so. Yeah.
You got Zatanna.
Yep.
And then you got Dead Man having a wine.
Yeah, whatever Dead Man's doing.
I like Dead Man.
Yeah.
So it's called. Actually, I didn't tell you what the title of the book was called, but this, for sanity's sake, I'm going to read the Captain Marvel story. Was called Moontraps and Paradise. Okay, great.
Okay,
I feel better about my life. But the Spectre book is called. The story's called Housewarming Party. And so we get a little bit of stuff in the beginning here. Now, basically, here's the deal. So, at this point, the Spectre and Jim Corrigan are two separate beings.
Okay, this is what I was confused about. Continue.
And that's basically it.
But why?
Because I don't know, he just wanted to be separate.
But I thought I didn't think that worked that way. I thought he was like both and...
Yeah, he was both. I mean, he technically was... The Spectre was Jim Corrigan.
Right.
Jim Corrigan became the Spectre because God was like, you're not done.
Right, because he died.
Yeah, he died, And
he sent him back. But how can he split that off now?
Man, I forgot what happened.
Yeah, that's what I was so confused about.
There's a whole thing that started... I was
like, how are they two separate entities?
There was a whole thing that started in this book at the very beginning. I can't remember.
Okay, but whatever.
I just know there was a thing where basically he got split off, and then I
don't like that.
He got split off, and then he was like, hey, so since I'm Jim Corrigan and I'm back, I might as well go back to being like a private detective, and I'm going to have a shop above Madame Xanadu's
little fortune-telling
place, and I'm going to hire this girl, Kim, who's going to be my secretary. I'm going to try to bone her a bunch of times, and hoo-ha.
Yeah, well, I don't like that. I don't like the idea that they can be separate people.
Well, they are.
So I'm not on board. So anyway, they're like outside on like a balcony talking to the Spectre, Jim and his secretary and Spectre. And
they're talking
about some sort of evil.
They're talking about evil. They're talking about the Manhunters because it's it's the middle of all this Manhunter stuff.
Yeah, and then they're also saying like there's something about immortality that they're talking about.
Yes. Is it true of all? I mean, will humanity ascend to godhood receive the gift of immortality? Yeah.
Eventually, somehow, humans will become immortal because that's our next phase.
Basically, they need to figure out. And basically, what's going on here is they need to figure out how to protect humanity until they become immortal.
Yeah, because there's this weird thing. There's some sort of evil going on, and every once in a while you'll see a little box
of bones.
Yeah, with bones, and they're all red, and there's a monster. So.
Yeah, and particularly there's this bones these bones in this. There's this house where these murders took place, where this monster, like, just ate a bunch of skin off of some.
Yeah, it ate all their flesh and their skin, but now they can't find their bones or something.
Yeah,
it's a little convoluted as to where they are or why.
and so it's funny because this Corrigan's like, "Hey, Spectre, you think the miracle? We're gonna clean up our acts, so we can get immortality." He's like, "No."
Yeah, no, you guys are terrible. Humanity is terrible, and if 2016 is any indication, we will never achieve godhood / immortality.
And it's funny because then he just basically tells us, like, yeah, just wait 37 years so you can die.
Yeah, he pretty much. Jim Corrigan is like, why are you telling me 37? Like, why didn't you say 40? Why such a specific number? And the Spectre, of course, doesn't answer him, but it's because you only have 37 years to live.
Yeah.
Enjoy.
So then we jump to this woman apparently getting a deed to a house.
Yeah,
or
she's like at a real estate agency, and she's trying to buy a house. And she's got like a beret, and she's got like a red jacket, and she's like, what's her name?
Dischanta.
Yeah.
I'm probably saying that wrong.
Yeah. And so she's like, give me the deed. We understand that there's been horrible murders at this house, but we don't care. And she's wearing a red jacket and 2 panels, and then you go to the next page, and she's wearing a yellow jacket.
Oh, they should have hired me to color this, because I have a coloring book now for DC, and I would have did a better job.
Yeah, you would have done a better job. So,
how dare they?
I know. So
how dare they not hire 8-year-old Shawn?
Yeah, why didn't they hire
this?
you? Why didn't they hire you?
Hey, Jim Shooter had a job writing comics for DC when he was like 13.
Well, he was Jim Shooter, though. Well, your coloring skills, maybe. I don't know. Did you have really good coloring skills when you were a kid?
I don't know. I have good coloring skills now. You should see these DC books I'm covering. They're great.
I know.
It's very helpful.
So then we cut to, I believe this is Madame Xanadu.
Madame Xanadu's talking to
some guy.
She's talking to Ben Turner, who we get to find out later.
And he's like, all right, I'm ready. And so then we cut back to the roof where Spectre has gone, but Jim and his secretary see that Madame Xanadu's leaving her little hovel place to like get in a limo, and they're like, well, we're gonna follow her.
Yeah, they're gonna have a limo ride.
Yeah.
This is before Uber.
Yeah.
Pre-Uber.
Pre-Uber.
Which is funny because it's funny who's actually driving the car.
Yeah, well, we'll talk about that when we get there. So the next page, there's like...
Okay, so basically next we have Dr. Fate showing up to this meeting.
To like in the House of Secrets.
Or a house.
I'm assuming it's the House of Secrets, right?
I don't know.
But the house actually yells at them later.
Yeah, but I don't know if it's the actual House of Secrets.
Oh, I don't know. Maybe it's a House of Secrets.
Oh, was it the comic book store?
Yes.
I like that place.
Yeah, it's a great place. So Dr. Fate shows up, and there's this like gross mass of like faces, and they're like,
there's like a big booger with it's a big booger monster with faces in it.
Yeah, they're like, why are we separated? And Dr. Fate's like, what the fuck? And then Spectre's like, I can tell that you are not actually Kent Nelson.
You're not Kent Nelson. You're the man in the you're the Linda and Eric Strauss, the stepmom and stepchild who are now apparently fucking, and you're now both in the same body.
Yeah.
As Dr. Fate.
Yeah.
It's like Jaina. This is with the Wonder Twins. Dr. Fate got really weird.
Yes.
For a while,
Yeah.
Dr. Fate had like anytime it's just Kent. That's the only time anybody really cares about it.
Yeah. I also have a question about this too. Mm-hmm. So.
Kent or Hector? I'm sorry.
He mentions Spectre says something. He's like, well, you're not actually the Dr. Fate. You're the new one. And he's like, Kent Nelson is gone, although Nabu is using his, and he trails off. And he goes, oh, and Spectre says, yes, I know. So my question is, I thought Nabu lived in the helmet. Lived in quotes. And if you put on the helmet, the spirit inhabits your body.
He's not as much in this... he's not as much like his power, I believe, is I should know more about this off the top of my head. I'm a terrible comic book fan.
Sorry, baby, it's all right.
I feel bad.
I don't know this answer.
I know, but I should know because I read nothing but Dr. Fate and Spectre comics.
You do love Dr. Fate. Well, but you don't read the shitty one where it's the mother-son.
No, I have not collected this one.
What's that thing in Arrested Development? Motherboy or...
Motherboy. Yes, the Motherboy.
It's Motherboy Dr. Fate is what's going on here.
I have not collected this particular one. I mean, I have the miniseries. I mean, basically, like Kent Nelson is just like an old guy on his own. I think like Naboo's separate, but Naboo's basically like I think separate from the Dr. Fate, but he's kind of like giving him the power, and he's trained. Like he grew Eric from being a boy to a man.
Yeah.
And he did all that stuff just kind of how he did for Kent.
Yeah.
You know?
Because I always thought it was like he inhabited the helmet, and like anybody who put on the helmet would now basically be the vessel for Naboo.
Yeah, I don't think that's like what that is now. Because
I think they retconned it though.
They retconned it. They retconned it eventually, where
It went back.
when once it got back to everything.
Once there was some weird shit.
Once the Strausses went away,
and after Fate melted down the helmet, and made a fucking sword out of it in the
made a
90s or
sword
whatever
and
it was.
some daggers out of it.
Yeah.
Ugh.
Oh, hi. So, yeah, he's like, well, don't worry about the giant booger mass. It kind of lives here. And then he's like, well, let's go ahead and talk. And Perfect Stranger's like, no, the three of us.
Yeah, Phantom Stranger.
I'm sorry, Perfect Stranger.
Phantom Stranger. Perfect Stranger. Balky.
Balky shows up.
Balky shows up, and he's like, I'm from Epos. I'm like, great. We're having a meeting to talk about humanity.
Yeah.
So we're fucked.
Yeah, so Phantom
We're-
Stranger shows up being Phantom Stranger. And they're like, okay, I ran
Don't mind the boogers
And he's
in the
like,
corner.
oh, hey, by the way, Spectre, I ran into Zatara. And he said, because he's dead, and he told me that you helped
Yeah.
him. And he's
Zatara
like, oh,
died
yeah.
in Swamp Thing.
Yeah, it's like, this is only to save Zatanna's
Yeah.
life. So they're all like sitting around a table as what's his ass, that guy, Corrigan, and his secretary are like driving to Jersey to like go to this house.
Oh man, Jersey.
So then, as they're just sitting around the table waiting, Gentleman Ghost shows up.
Yeah, I don't. What is he? Does he actually say why he's there?
No,
I don't remember him being really a reason. He's just like, hey.
no, he's just like, hey, I'm here, and he's like, oh, what shall we set in store for the wretched mortals of this miserable plane?
Because apparently he has a say in how the creep. Because basically it's a meeting to have a meet. It's a meeting about how to save humanity for the next couple thousand years, so they can achieve immortality.
So,
and is it really worth it?
No, it's
I say no.
No, we're not worth it. So here's my question: Why? So if Gentleman Ghost is a ghost, why doesn't he have a head?
Why doesn't he have a head?
Why doesn't he have a face? It's always like a big.
It's kind.
gap.
You can't see it.
He's invisible.
You can't-
Why?
Oh shit! I forgot. I know the reason why.
Okay.
It's some sort of thing he did to himself. The reason why he is Gentleman Ghost.
So he's like
Like
invisible?
you can't really like it's.
And
like
he
some sort-
can't put some makeup on that shit.
No.
Okay.
No, he's a
Just to-
makeup-free ghost.
Okay. So then we cut to like I don't know who these people are. They're like a Baron so and so, and
So basically, though, this is a blood cult.
yeah. So there's a blood cult.
It's a weird-ass cult. Of a bunch
And they're
of-
like, yay, here we are in this creepy murder house, and I can't wait because that lady Disenchanta is going to go into the bedroom
and
and
party with this monster.
party with this monster that lives in this house. So she's like, I am here, monster. I'm taking off all my clothes. So
eat my face, and then he kind of.
so eat my face, and it's really gross actually because he's like she's like all into it like, but he like this monster grabs her face and strips the skin off of it and then like licks all the flesh off of it.
Yeah.
It's pretty gross. So then we cut back to
The ghost party.
ghost party. Nothing's going on. Then Zatara or
Okay, so here's the thing.
the limo shows up. What?
Okay, so the limo shows up. So the ghost party is there, and they're all like, "Hey, where's Dead Man?" It's like, "A Dead Man's just gonna show up when he feels like it."
Right.
And then so they look, and the limo shows up, and Jim and Kimmy are like, "Hey, Zatanna was driving that." So apparently Zatanna's
She's an Uber driver.
She's an Uber driver.
Yeah. So, which is good, you got
picking up some gigs.
She lives in New York. It's expensive there, so she's getting some gigs. So it's her. It's Madame Xanadu. It's what's that guy's name again? Billy.
Ben Turner.
Ben Turner.
And June Moon.
June Moon.
June Moon, a.k.a.
the Enchantress.
The Enchantress, and she's like,
But
should
she
I become
doesn't do any weird shit like whisper the name Enchantress.
Yeah, she does.
When?
In the next panel. Well, she doesn't whisper, she just yells.
Oh, yelling it. Okay.
She yells, the Enchantress, which I
So she
kind of
doesn't like randomly whisper it in her sleep like in that dumb movie?
Yeah, she doesn't do that. She doesn't go full Suicide Squad here.
And she doesn't dance through each panel?
No, she just kind of turns into... This guy, apparently, this Ben Turner fellow, has a ring.
Yeah, that apparently controls her.
Yeah, and he's like, all right, well, I'm going to do something with this ring to make you so you can, like, turn into Enchantress.
But like not go crazy.
But not go crazy. And,
So everybody gets to the meeting, and then Corrigan and that lady are spying on them. And this is when the house yells at them.
yes.
It like grows arms and shit, and they're like, oh.
Because apparently this is the house where a bunch of these murders happened.
Yeah,
like-
that's why the Spectre lives there.
Spectre lives there. Apparently there's this photographer named Gervais. I'm like, Ricky Gervais, he died?
Sure. Yeah, but this like it comes to life, and they're like, "Oh shit!" But it's not
comes to life.
it's not the same murder house that the lady's getting her flesh eaten off of.
Yeah, I don't
It's a
understand.
different house. That's why I was like, "This is this the House of Secrets?" I'm really confused. So they go inside, and everybody's like standing around, just talking, talking about if humanity. I mean, there's a lot of talking about if humanity is really worth it, if we should save them from whatever danger is coming. Which I'm assuming has something to do with this blood cult.
Yeah.
Are they worth it? No, they're not really worth it, blah, blah, blah. This is basically the conversation they have for like 3 pages.
They have this conversation, and then Jim Corrigan's beeper goes off,
Oh, that's right.
and they're like, you should go answer it. And he's like,
oh, I got food in the car.
He's like, yeah, sweet, I got some snacks in the car.
Yeah.
Because he's driving there, because he's like, apparently they got a bag full of snacks.
Yeah, because Jersey's so far away from New York. You need to bring snacks.
I need to go and get a bunch of Funyuns.
Yeah. Road
so-
Funyuns.
And so,
So
what happens? See, I don't know what's going on with this blood cult, because this
that's
lady's...
the thing. I don't get it either. So there's something going on with the blood cult. There's a lot of bones and shit, but she's still living at the end, and she's like, I don't know. And only the skin on her face is gone.
Yeah.
And anyway, so
Now she just wears like a hood.
yeah.
gross.
So they're like hanging out, and he's like, "Oh, I went to go get the phone, and it's for Phantom Stranger."
Okay, well, there's a few things here. So, real quick. So, as that's happening, apparently Ben loses his ring.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
He doesn't know where his ring went.
Yeah, which apparently is very important, because if he doesn't have it, Enchantress can just go fucking crazy.
He doesn't have his ring,
Right.
so he sucks.
He should
He had
just-
one job, to hold on to the ring.
Well, apparently he should just grab her heart.
Yeah. Yeah.
'Cause that
You should just be like,
works.
"Whoa, your heart. Amanda Waller said this worked."
Stab, stab, stab. Yeah, so he somehow loses the ring. I don't know how. And then Jim Corrigan shows up. He's like, "Oh, I have my car phone, and it's for you, Phantom Stranger."
Well, also there's there's this part where Gentleman Ghost is kissing Kimmy's hand, and she's into it.
Kind of, yeah.
She's kind of like, "Oh, I was just hanging out here with this invisible man, and he was kissing my hand." And Jim shows up, and he's got a bag full of stuff, and he's got his phone, and he's like, "Phantom Stranger got a phone call."
And it leads to Sean's favorite panel of Phantom Stranger on the telephone.
It's one of the I like when things like this happen, because Phantom Stranger should does he even know how phones work? He's like
he shouldn't have to, right? Like he should just get like a message from like the
Yeah.
cosmos.
Yeah.
But no, he takes this phone call.
There's this phone call, and for some reason I don't know who it is.
It's this guy.
Is that Clarion?
No, that is, he calls him Baron Williams or something.
That's what I say. But I was like, but why is it Clarion? It looks like Clarion.
It does look like Clarion, but it's not him.
It's grown up Clarion.
It's Baron Winters.
Baron Winters, aka Clarion the Witch Boy, with a jaguar.
Yeah. I mean, it does look like Clarion, but he calls himself Baron Winters, whatever. So then, like, They're just hanging out.
No, Kimmy is out there making snacks.
She's making snacks. She's like, until she sees the big booger. Anyway.
But it was funny because at one point she's like, we don't. Jim only has a 6-pack. I wonder if somebody's going to enjoy sharing bottles.
Yeah.
Which I bet Phantom Stranger probably be into these snacks because seeing how.
Oh yeah, no, he took a whole handful from that one book.
He will eat a handful of steaming fries.
Yeah. Yeah. Right out of the fryer.
Right out of the fryer because he doesn't. Because I mean, somehow he knows how a phone works, but he doesn't know how plates work.
No. Phantom Stranger isn't up on all
I'm surprised he
technology.
didn't just eat the phone.
Well, maybe he did. Maybe we just didn't see that part.
He's like, hey, can I eat that?
So
I know, because I haven't been around for technology. I'm like, I came from biblical times, you know, so I have no idea what the hell's going on.
So then,
What are phones?
Kim sees the big booger. She screams. Corrigan runs in to see what's going on.
I like that they go tell him, it's like, yeah, just tell her that it's harmless.
It's fine. Don't worry about the
The
booger.
booger ghost is harmless.
And it's saying the booger
Tell
ghost
her-
is also saying some weird shit too. Like they're not afraid of us. Why can't we be together? Like it's saying some shit.
Because it's all a bunch of discorporeal faces.
And they're having a problem because I
stuff.
guess they want their bones back.
It's funny because they're like, yeah, she's like, don't tell him it's fine. You know,
Yeah.
Phantom Stranger's like, bring me a handful of steaming things.
Yeah, give me something warm. Maybe some ketchup to go on my phone. And so then Enchantress starts flipping the fuck out.
Well, for some reason, all of a sudden, she's like, because the ring's missing.
Yeah.
So she starts flipping it out and starts saying how men are terrible.
Well, yeah, she's not saying it yet. She's almost there. She's just like murder, flesh, torture, blah, blah, blah. And then all of a sudden, in the midst of this, Corrigan comes walking into the room on his hands because Dead Man's inside of him.
Yeah, dead
And
man.
then he falls on his face, and Dead Man's like, haha, here I am. And then I don't know why this is here. This is what I do not understand, why this panel or what happens with this this story is in here. It doesn't make sense. So he's like, oh, hey, I'm, blah, blah, blah. So they're talking. All of a sudden we have one panel where we cut to an AIDS protest rally staged by a bunch of mostly gay men.
Yeah.
And then we cut right back to Dead Man talking to Phantom Stranger. And Corrigan's like, oh, I can't see him.
Because Corrigan doesn't know Dead Man.
Yeah.
Spectre knows Dead Man.
Yeah.
Corrigan doesn't know Dead Man. So as far as they know, they're just talking to nobody.
So they're all talking. Everybody's talking. And Enchantress, now she starts flipping out about men. For no reason.
Ben!
There's no, there's no trigger for this. It just starts. So she starts screaming about filthy, gross men, how they must die. And all her power and her anxiety makes her raise the house.
It levitates the house that they're in.
And they're like,
It levitates this living house, which I don't know why the house just didn't be like, you
well,
know
that's
what?
what I don't get. I'm like, if it's a living house, what the hell's the problem?
The living house should just be like, nah.
Yeah, it can probably fly on its own. So they're like, Dr. Fate, go outside and try to hold this thing up. We're going to try to stop Enchantress. So they're trying to stop her, and she's just super powerful as this house is now descending onto this AIDS rally.
Yes.
And so Dead Man's like, I better go outside. There's a helicopter that's monitoring the situation, and the pilot is a horrible homophobe. And he's like,
Okay, here's the thing. Yeah, because I read this book before. I bought this book and I read it. I don't remember the pilot dropping a hard F.
oh yeah, he does. And he calls
He
him,
is.
I mean, he's just
going for it.
Yeah, he's just like, oh man, they're ruining the city. They're bringing about the apocalypse. They're all a whole bunch of lip-wristed blah-bitty-blahs. He's going for it in this book. And why is this even in here?
Yeah, why is this?
Why is this here?
Well, because because he's watching this house come towards this rally, which I don't know why these people. Well, first of all, if you're in this rally, you see this house coming towards you, fucking run.
But not only that, but why did we pick this? Why was this the rally that was chosen for the house to be crashing into?
Because maybe whoever possesses Enchantress, because she mentioned.
No, I want to know why the writer chose this. That's my question.
I don't know.
When you
I
could
don't know.
have chosen,
I don't know. I'd have to. I wonder if there's anything future that makes sense for this, but probably not.
And it's so like it's such a background like it doesn't. It's just weird. It's weird. It's a really weird choice, especially to spend like 3 panels with this pilot who just like every word out of his mouth is just how terrible gay people are, and then so until Boston Brand like
jumps into his body and like basically
he's like, man, I hope that house crushes those people, and then Boston Brand takes him to his body and he's like, no, you're just gonna do your job and just hover here. So then,
well, what was he gonna do? Was he gonna like this? If he didn't hop into his body, was he gonna like?
I don't know.
Was he gonna be like, I'm gonna jump in there too?
Yeah,
like chopper.
He's not gonna do anything. I don't understand what he was gonna do. So while all this is going on, Madame Xanadu and Spectre figure out where the bones for the booger live. And so they go and they uncover what looks like just one skeleton.
Uncover my bones.
Yeah. And the
bring
booger's
my
like,
booger body.
But it's one skeleton. It's just one. And so like they're like, oh my god, you gotta reunite us with our bones. Because I guess the house is making her stronger or something.
Yeah, the house apparently is possessing her because it's alive.
Yeah, so like I don't know. It imprisons the booger in the bones. The ring is back, and finally, Enchantress.
But did Phantom Stranger ever finish his phone?
No, I don't think he did. I think it's still like half eaten upstairs.
Half eaten.
So Enchantress like passes out.
I'm gonna wrap this phone up to go.
And
yeah,
Dr.
the whole time, like,
because
Dr. Fate's on the whole time. They're like, Dr. Fate, go out there and hold up this house.
Yeah,
and he's like, I don't know how. It's like, shut up, do it.
Yeah, shut up and do it.
Because they don't like him because he's not Kent.
Well, fair enough. Nobody likes him because he's not Kent.
Well, I don't like him because he's not Kent.
Right, that's what I mean.
And he's trying to do his job.
I know he's trying, but he's not Kent.
He's trying, but then it's like, get out there, not Kent, and go try to hold up this house. He's like, I don't know what I'm doing.
Yeah.
I can't hold this house, and none of these people will move. And then there's a racist pilot, and the
homophobic pilot.
And
but luckily, once she's under control, like she can help move the house back to where it belongs, so it doesn't crush anybody who's having an AIDS protest. And they fly the house back to where it's supposed to be, and that's that. But we also have Deschanta coming out of her room where she just had
her face ripped off.
Weird face rip sex with the monster, I guess, because she's in her bikini. I don't understand what's happening.
Well, she took off her clothes. She was in her underwear.
Yeah, so she's just in like her underwear, and like all she is now is just like her face is just a skull with like eyes in it.
Yeah.
And then
they just ripped off her, they just skinned her.
Yeah, and it ate all the flesh off of her face. Oh. It ate all the muscles and stuff. So now she's just bone.
Oh, that's right. She has eye meat.
Yeah, so she's got eyes and she's bones. So now she like pulls her skin back onto her face like a fucking paper bag.
But it doesn't fit good because there's no face meat.
Yeah, there's no muscle. There's no structure under there anymore. No fat.
Nobody'll notice.
And so now she's just like a wrinkly bag. I don't know what's happening. And that's it. That's it.
Wait, that's not it.
Well, no, because I already said the house goes back and then there they go.
Oh wait, that's how the book ends.
Yeah, the house is back, and they're like, nobody really cared that one of the wings collapsed, and I'm like, but that house like rose up and tried to eat you guys. Can't it just rebuild itself? I don't know.
Maybe whatever part of its body.
That's the end of the book.
Yeah, it's funny because then like there's like 6 pages of ads after this. It's kind of weird. Spiral Zone. Should we read that?
No.
Oh, okay. It's got like little kids in it and stuff. That's weird. Oh,
yeah, it's probably one of those laser tag places.
Oh yeah, laser tag. Stupid. Yeah. And then you got his letter page. Says Speculations.
Yeah. That's
a good title for his page. There's a lot of letters in here too.
Yep.
Too many letters, guys. Too many letters for they'll probably write a lot of letters about this book after they read it. And
yeah, being like, wait,
it's like, wait a minute. So why did he want to kill all those AIDS protesters?
Yeah, like what the fuck's going on? Like why was that even in here?
And why is Phantom Stranger on a phone?
Right, is that house a living house, or is it just a regular house that just kind of had a weird day? Yeah. What's going on with it?
I don't know.
So.
Well, that's it.
That's it.
That's it for the Spectre.
Yep.
Volume 2. Spectre. Spectre Volume 2, number 11 from February 1988. Would you read the next issue of this?
I would, but I feel like I would have to go back and start from the beginning because there's a lot of shit going on that I don't understand.
Well, I have a bunch of these.
Yeah.
And I'm probably going to eventually start trying to collect more of them.
Though I will say I don't like the Spectre being separate from...
Yeah, it's a whole weird
I don't like
thing.
it.
I think that's kind of how it goes for the rest of this, and then eventually... I mean, that's a thing. The Spectre's just got... Yeah, I think he kind of goes like that for a couple of years.
Yeah.
And then
I don't like that.
And then eventually he merges back with Jim.
Good.
And
then it should be.
And then eventually Hal Jordan becomes the Spectre. That's what I tap out. I'm not really interested in Hal Jordan being the Spectre.
Right.
Sorry. It's just not my thing. I know Hal Jordan should just be Green Lantern. Moving on.
Or Parallax.
I don't even want to be Parallax. I just want to be Green Lantern.
Well, no, because then he was like really evil and it was supposed to be cool and stuff. And
or you could just kill him and just have somebody else be Green Lantern, which you guys have the 5 million Green Lanterns.
I was going to say, like, for a fucking backwater.
Green Lantern's a woman now. Which is
yeah,
it's awesome. But who is she?
Well, it's not just her. There's still a bunch of them.
Well, Simon Bax is still around.
He's still around. I think John's still around somewhere. Hal is still around.
Kyle's
somewhere.
still around.
Kyle's still there. Guy Gardner's still there.
Guy Gardner, I thought was a Red Lantern. Or is that not a thing anymore?
I don't know if he's Red Lantern anymore.
Because Rebirth and all that stuff.
I don't know if he's now a Green Lantern again. I don't know. But they're all still there. And that's what I don't get. I'm like, for a fucking, what literally almost every Green Lantern comic calls Earth a backwater, you sure pick a lot of your fucking police force from this backwater.
Yeah.
And you let them patrol the same segment. You never transfer them.
They tried to be, they try to make exceptions for it. It's just.
There's just too many of them now. I'm just like, shouldn't there only be like...
Well, there is a book called Green Lantern. There's Green Lantern and Green Lanterns.
Well, it's Green Lantern Corps or something.
No, it's just Green Lanterns.
Oh, isn't there another one?
And then there's like, actually, I think there is. And then it's Green Lantern Corps.
Yeah.
Which, why not just call it Green Lantern?
I don't know.
DC.
I don't.
You guys.
Yeah, I don't know.
Guys.
Too many Green Lanterns.
Blech.
That's all I gotta say. And of all the...
None of which were in this book.
Yeah, can we also say that, like, of all the people, there's never, like, let's focus on, like, the Blue Lantern that lives on Earth. There's no Blue Lantern on Earth.
No, we don't have any Blue Lanterns on Earth.
No.
We don't have any Yellow Lanterns. There's nobody protecting us.
Yeah.
From
orange
from
lanterns,
Hope.
Well,
the Orange Lanterns, there's one. There's one, just Larfleeze. Yeah.
Yeah, but there's no, like, all the other, like, lanterns. There's only green lanterns.
What about the Love Lanterns? Who's our Love Lantern?
Yeah,
is that Carol?
I don't know. I have no idea if she's still sort of like a Star Sapphire. I have no clue.
Or maybe because the Green Lanterns are like a core, like they're a military force, and the other ones don't necessarily work like that.
I know, but if we have so many Green Lanterns, don't you think we would have other ones too?
But maybe those other lanterns are like, we don't want to fuck with Earth.
Yeah, well, fair enough.
We'll just deal with our shit.
There's a lot of fuckery going on with that.
But Earth, because they look at Earth and they're like, eh.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, well, anyways, that's it for this. But I can't talk.
No.
That's it for this week's show. And we thank you for listening. If you're you're listening to this on Tuesday. If you're in Los Angeles on Thursday, please come check out the Hollywood Improv in the evening. We will have 3 great podcasts performing as a part of the Los Angeles Podcast Festival preview night, starting at 8 p.m. in both the Hollywood Improv main room and in the lab. We've got We Hate Movies, which is sold out for 8 p.m., but you can still get tickets for the 10 p.m. show that they're doing. They're doing a 2-night stand.
Or double feature.
Yeah. Encore performance. Mm-hmm. Very, very excited to have them in town from New York.
Yeah, and they're going to do...
they're doing Suburban Commando at 8, and they're doing Batman and Robin at 10.
Yes.
So be there for that. And then we're doing, we have in the lab, we've got 2 shows. We've got Please Advise with Molly McAleer at 8 o'clock. And then we also have High and Mighty with John Gabris at 10. And that's going to be awesome. So you can, you can check that out, hollywood.improv.com for tickets. So anyways, that's it for this week. We will talk to you guys again next week. You can find me on Twitter and Instagram at Angry Hero Shawn, SHAWN, and my Tumblr, theangryhero.tumblr.com.
And I'm at Jen Stansfield on Twitter and Instagram, jenstansfield.tumblr.com, and jenstansfield.wordpress.com.
I'm going to yawn into the phone for a second. And then to the phone. Oh, my Dr. Phantom Stranger.
Yes. Are you going to put ketchup on that?
Yeah.
Delicious.
Can you deep fry this phone for me, Guy Gardner? So we will see you guys again next week. Check out SideshowNetwork.tv. And also, please rate, subscribe, tell a friend, leave a review on iTunes. It really helps us in the ratings. We need to engage. You need to engage with us on there if you like the show, and give us a high rating so we can be more visible. It helps. All right, folks. Thanks for listening. We'll see you guys again next time.
Bye.